Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, babies, rising, as well as Venus. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your tarot card for the week of June 7th, 2026. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, Scorpio, keep in mind, this is not what you don't see coming for the week ahead. This reading, however, is one intended to be a message to you from source, something that they want you to consider so you can make a decision that is best for you and your life at this time. With all of that said, now let's begin. Tapping into the Scorpio collective now, Sun, Moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the tarot card of the week here for the Scorpio collective for the week of June 7th, 2026? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your tarot card of the week, the King of Swords. What situation in your life is calling you to have logic and clarity? And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. What situation in your life do you need to look at from a different perspective? Okay. Why is the King of Swords the tarot card of the week here for the Scorpio collective? Sun, Moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. What situation in your life is calling you to have logic and clarity? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Five of Swords. And we have the Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Six of Wands. Why is the Six of Wands here? So I feel like you need to have logic and clarity surrounding the Hierophant. The Hierophant could be a committed partnership, a marriage, yours or someone else's. In a career and finance reading, that very well could be like the corporation or entity or company that you work for. It could be a government institution, a family group, certainly a close social structure of yours, like a friend group, or it could be like a political, religious, or community organization. So in respect to those things, one of them for each of you, obviously it'll be different, but there's something here that you're supposed to look at with logic and clarity when it comes to one of those institutions, if you will, or contracts, if you will, in your life. Tell me more about that Six of Wands here. Why is the Six of Wands here? One more shuffle. Thank you. Six of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Empress. Bottom of the deck, we have Justice. Five of Swords. Why is the Five of Swords here? One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Swords is clarified by Five of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. There's something here that you're not seeing clearly in regards to a connection or a partnership. I see that because we saw the Justice card. That is Libra. Libra is the house of marriage, contracts, relationships, partnerships, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic. So again, going back to that Hierophant, in regards to your connection with whatever that is for you, there's something here that you're not seeing clearly. I notice what we don't have on the tables, we don't have cups, except for that very small Page of Cups. So it's possible here for some of you that you are looking at something through the lens of how you feel about it or how it makes you feel, but you're not looking at it like realistically or logically. Tell me about that Ace of Cups. Tell me about that Ace of Cups. You're supposed to see this from a different perspective, and the perspective is using your logical mind, not your feelings. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Wands, that's the truth. Two of Cups, there's that partnership, and the Eight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. Okay, so I feel here like I'm speaking to a group of Scorpios, if you will, where there's a particular type of connection in your life, again, whether professional, platonic, or romantic, and what you think about it and what you feel about it are two totally different things. Like I feel like when we're looking at feelings, right? Feelings is I'm I feel successful with this. I feel successful at this job, or I want victory at this job, or I feel successful in this particular connection, or I desire to be victorious. There's something here like I'm in it for the long run. And that Knight of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the Empress, I like birthing this. It makes me feel good. Again, we're looking at feelings. This makes me feel good, to nurture it, to be part of it. I want to be victorious with it. It adds to the structure and stability of my life. So heart-based, this is, I'm all in. I'm all in taking care of this. Mentally is a different story. Mentally, we're looking at confusion. And I don't know if you're gaslighting yourself or whoever you're dealing with is gaslighting you, but it's almost like your mind is telling you, this is not good for me. And your heart is saying, but this feels so good. So it's like being at a job where you like what you do, but you don't like what you do it for, you know, who you do it for. And you're like, I don't know if I want to quit because I like what I do. It feels good to me. It is satisfying to me to go to work every day, just using that as an example. It feels good when I show up and I participate and I feel successful there. But mentally, I know that there's a lot of drama there in the Five of Wands. There's cutting words. Maybe there's betrayal. There's backstabbing. When I look at it logically, it doesn't feel so good. It takes me all the way down to the Page of Cups. So it doesn't feel so good. So I just feel like your heart and your mind are in opposition when it comes to a particular connection in your life. You're very much in that Eight of Swords because you don't know what to do about it. It feels good to be part of it. But when you look at it logically or rationally, you're like, this place sucks. This is like I said, this is drama. This is chaos. This is conflict. And the more you think about it, the less positive feeling you have for it. So the more you think about the chaotic work environment, the less you want to go to work tomorrow. Even though at the core of you, you're like, but I really love the job. There's something like that here going on. Oh, look at that. We have the Eight of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Devil. See, it's like I move forward. So this is like I go to work tomorrow and I'm feeling really great about it. But the moment I start recognizing the toxicity here and I look at it logically with my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be here anymore. So there's something like that where you're staying in a situation, environment, or a connection because it feels good. But if you were to look at it logically, you would leave. Like if I sat down with you, Scorpio, and I told you about my job and how catastrophic it is, and there's all drama, and there's backstabbing, and there's betrayal, as my friend, you would be looking at me like, Jen, you got to leave the job. And even if I'm like, oh, but you know, I do love it. If I were to actually tell you everything that's going on at the job, you'd be like, Jen, what the hell are you doing? That's like the most like, you know what I mean? So I just feel like you're staying in something or connected to something because it feels good. But if you were to tell other people what you actually deal with, they would probably tell you to move on from it or that you deserved better. And I think that's a perspective shift that you need. I think you need to look at this connection, professional, platonic, or romantic, and look at it from the lens of someone else, like be your own best friend. I feel like you have to step outside of it and look at it and be like, oh boy, if someone were telling me about this friendship or romantic partnership or organization, association they have, you know, or I would tell them to get out of Dodge because it's clearly toxic as hell. But I think that you have been enduring the toxicity for so long, Six of Cups to the Devil, that you overlook it, you gloss over it. Because again, it feels good. So you like what you do for a living, but that place is toxic, but yet you continue to go and you mask it with, it's not so bad because I like what I do for a living. But you could do what you do for a living elsewhere. You don't have to stay in that. Tell me more about that. I haven't clarified a lot of these other signs except for Libra and Leo, but I feel like clarifying this for you. Tell me more about that Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Swords and Five of Wands. Five of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and Judgment. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. You don't want to see it. It is a toxic or unhealthy, I'll just call it, connection in your life. And what you're not seeing is that there is a better job for you. There's a better friendship for you. There's a better romantic partner for you. I don't know who this is, you know, or again, association or something. There's better out there for you. You can't see it. And you don't think that it's out there and you don't think you'll ever find it. So you're staying in something that's 555. It needs to change. And even in that Two of Swords, it's like you're blindfolded. So you continue to make a judgment call based on how you feel about it. But your logical mind is like, no, I don't want to be here. You just keep overriding what your mind is telling you. The Devil, the Three of Wands, the Lovers, the Ten of Swords, and there's that Hangman, seeing it from another perspective. This is like the dead-end job. This is the dead-end relationship. This is the dead-end friendship. I hate to be the one to tell you that. I'm a Scorpio moon. You know that. But this is toxic. And for some reason, you continually make the choice to connect with it, to go back to work. Like you're not looking for another job. You're still in that friendship. You're still in that romantic partnership. And I think like even when you do leave, when you do depart from it in that Three of Wands, I think it sucks you right back in. I think you make the choice to go back. So this is like Friday at 5 o'clock where you're like, oh my God, I've had it. I don't want to work here anymore. I'm never going to come back here again. But then come Monday morning, you go right back to work. You didn't spend the weekend looking for another job. You just went back to work on Monday. And look, I'm not telling you to quit your job, but at some point you got to look for another job. But you continue to go back. Something, you make the choice to go back. And then Ten of Swords, it happens all over again. So I feel like you need to see this from a different perspective. And I think your different perspective is you need to see this as an outsider. If someone else was coming and telling you about this connection, professional, platonic, or romantic, what's the advice that you would give them? I think that's the advice that you need to take. So what situation in your life is calling you to have logic and clarity? The one that you keep existing in, that you don't want to admit to yourself, you need to move on from. That one. That one that your brain has been trying to tell you for a while that you need to move on from, but your feelings keep sucking you back into it. And if it's not the same situation, environment, or connection, it could just be the same pattern. Like this could be dietary in nature. It doesn't have, this could be the relationship you have with yourself. It doesn't have to be an actual relationship. And it's like your mind is telling you, like it tells me, Jen, eating all those gummy bears, not good for you. Smoking all those cigarettes, not good for you. But feelings wise, it's, I really enjoy eating gummy bears. And I make excuses why I need a cigarette every morning with my cup of coffee. You know, it feels good. It reduces stress, you know. But my logical mind is like, hello, shouldn't be doing that. So even if this is not a connection with an actual person or a situation or environment, this could just be, you can have a healthier connection with yourself, relationship with yourself by just taking better care of yourself and realizing that maybe you're consuming or ingesting something that isn't that healthy for you, even though it feels good to consume it or ingest it in that moment. So take the message how it resonates to you. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. 3 cards of advice. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice. 2 of Swords. There's that 2 of Swords that you're not seeing. The World card, whatever this is, it needs to come to an end. 6 of Cups. It's a person or someone from your life, you know, that you feel like, oh, I'm tied to this person, or I've known them since childhood, or this is my sibling, or this is a job I've been at for a long time, or something I've been consuming for a long time. There's something here about you need to see it for what it is. This is the first deck in a Libra. And again, Libra's back to partnerships. So whether we're talking about an actual connection that you have, professional, platonic, or romantic, or just the partnership you have with yourself, like the relationship you have with yourself. There's something here that you're failing to see that is detrimental to you. You need to be logical and just close the door on this and, like, you know, quit whatever it is. And I think your intuition and your mind have been screaming at you for quite some time to do this, but you keep staying because of like how it feels. Justice, there's that House of Libra, and there's that Fool card. There's your new beginning. So your new beginning comes from recognizing this pattern or the situation, environment, or connection, seeing it for what it is, and pivoting and moving in another direction. There's something better there waiting for you. There's a better version of yourself, or a better job, or, like I said, better romantic partner, association, or friend, but it's not here anymore, and it hasn't been for a long time. And your intuition has been trying to tell you that. That's what I have for you at this time. It's your little homework assignment for the week. I know, not so little, but I think just be real with yourself this week. You don't have to even close anything out or quit anything if you don't want to, or if you don't feel ready. But I do think you need to acknowledge that you are consuming something or engaging with someone that is not beneficial to you. That's what I have for you for the week ahead. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, Please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that on your mobile device. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.